It's going to be like learning to walk or live all over again. And this all leads toward what we were talking about right here, October 28th, 2011. October 28th, 2011, the end of the Mayan calendar, when we are consciously co-creating our experience. Time travel is all in here too. So if you can travel to any time you want, what good's the calendar? You know, it all goes, the whole idea of time and space goes extinct as orientations. That's what's in our future. We do have this little bit of a hump to get over here with the governments and the economy. Yes?
If time travel becomes normal, are you saying that we could have it in our past as well?
I'm not sure.
Would that be a...
I know that it's coming. I know that we have already time-traveled electrons in the laboratory.
So there would be, you could meet people that have now died. You could go
possible. Everything is becoming more and more possible. Yeah.
It's pretty hard to conceive, isn't it?
It really is. It's sort of like being 4 years old and your mom is like pulling stuff off the top shelf. You know stuff is up there. but you don't know what it is. It's just not at that stage yet, and that's how we all are right now. Oh, up here.
Say something in a little response to her, but I mean, if you know a little bit about shamanism, they're time travelers.
Shamans?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The universal experiences, they will see prehistoric beasts or whatever, and it's universal no matter what culture they came from.
Yes, it is.
That's a time travel.
Yeah, indigenous people already had bits and pieces and parts of this all along. We've lost it, and now we're gaining it back. Sometimes you don't know what you got until it's gone. You know?
Native cultures weren't persecuted as much.
Yeah, it won't be this time. It'll be wide open, accepted, and understood. Yeah. Yes?
Yeah, just you mentioned the source or where creation is coming from and our consciousness. I just wanted you to comment on something I read about this Mayan calendar was kind of written off by our science, right? Basically.
Well, it's being confirmed by our science.
But early on, they really pay attention to, like, for instance. So, right. But I've books like the Edgar Cayce books and that it came from outer space. Other people, not scientists, were trying to say that the Mayan people could not have had this and that they got it from somewhere else. I don't agree with that. Why couldn't people have it? You know, but could you comment on that? And now you're saying that we're just about to meet the neighbors, and somebody else was saying that they've already met the neighbors and got all this from them, right?
Right. At least a couple of neighbors, not all the neighbors, you know, like individuals. Well, like extraterrestrials are here right now. Power-hungry, sneaky, secretive, unethical alien beings. Not everybody out there with high tech is all goodness and light, you know. So we're already in some sort of contact with extraterrestrials, but they're not the ethical ones. What I'm talking about here is we'll be in face-to-face contact, good, clean communication with our neighbors, exchanging data and technology and all that on an ethical basis. Yes? Any other questions? Oh, yes. Up here at the front again.
With this type of calendar, I watched several documentaries on prophecies from all different nations since the beginning of times till now. So how do all the chaotic things fit in? Say, Nostradamus was, for example, saying we are disembarking on maybe a 27-year period of absolute war and miserable things.
Well, we're embarking on an absolute destruction of everything that you rely on.
Okay, so that's all included.
Yeah. Everything that you rely on, delivery of electricity, of food, of water, and stuff like that, will all be threatened in the very, very near future.
So this isn't going to blissfully transfer.
Oh no, just like Bush is not going to go, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, I screwed up. I'm out of here. No, he and all of his people are not going to walk away. Yeah, it's going to be rough. But it's going to be short. Very important to understand. It's going to be quick, vicious, and over with. 6 months. 6 months. 6 to 9 months most. And then we'll be putting the pieces back together. But we do necessarily have to go through that. And every time, every third night, there is like a boom. Revolution. Well, here. This one, 1854. What was happening in America, 1854, right there, 1861, was the Civil War. And during this whole period, there's civil wars all over the world. In Russia, in India, in Spain, France, there were civil wars everywhere. We're just going through the same cycle again. The world didn't end then. It's not going to end now. It's just going to be rough. Yeah?
About the changes that you're talking about in your Okanagan tapes, you had mentioned that shortly after this December, there's the issue of the slowing of the rotation of the Earth.
Oh, yeah, that was Greg Braden.
That's from Braden's material? That's from Greg Braden's material?
Yeah, Greg Braden was, I was referencing to Greg Braden's material where he was saying that we're going to be coming to 0 point. Right. Zero magnetics and a slowing of the Earth and then a reversing of the spin.
I would like to hear your comments on what type of a reality you envision after the Earth has stopped and started the other way, in light of the comments about all these new technologies supposedly coming in. And
I don't have anything concrete to say about it. I have my own personal thoughts about it, that it will reverse the polarity on the power, you know, to where people won't be so self-centered, but will be open to more inclusion.
But my question still comes to the point that if this scenario does take place, then realistically one could assume that we're looking at something like, what, 2 or 3% of the world's population surviving? You start spinning things.
More than likely it'll be about it'll either be 2/3 or 1/3.
Okay.
Because that's the natural proportions of everything, is 1/3 to 2/3. So it depends on how well people understand what we're coming up on and going through.
So this is the ascension process, basically.
Well, it's
when we talk about ascension, that's the intuitive mind, right? So the promise of ascension is that this time we're taking our bodies with us versus leaving them behind. Our consciousness will teleport us, in other words.
Oh, yeah.
When the time is right.
Actually, right now it's happening. It's a process. Yeah. It's like a tree grows up and then bears fruit, but it's been growing the whole time. You see, we're growing very rapidly right now.
Do you think it's a possibility that those that aren't ready would be teleported to another place, or is Earth going to stay Earth?
It's very possible that aliens not so ethical will very soon show up in the skies and start teleporting people, you know, beaming them up and shipping them wherever. I mean, it's much more is possible now than ever before. Like all kinds of goodness and badness all at the same time. All the science fiction shows that you've ever seen, those possibilities are more there. Because more is happening in less time. What exactly is going to happen, nobody exactly knows. Other than, we're going to call an end to this talk. That is predicted. I'm getting hungry, and I bet you guys are too.